If you are walking in pitch darkness and you suddenly hear your own name whispered from the void, your heart rate spikes before you even realize why. There is a specific stretch of road on the outskirts of town where that physical reaction is the only thing that keeps people away. Locals avoid this transit path entirely after the sun goes down, causing foot traffic to drop to a statistical zero. The reason sits at the very end of the pavement, an abandoned residential structure, completely dark, structurally decaying, and entirely isolated. The local legend is very clear. It doesn't chase you. This house is different. It expends zero physical energy on pursuit, remaining perfectly still and relying entirely on a stationary acoustic lure. It doesn't need to chase because it utilizes the one thing a target cannot ignore. It puts a voice to the shadows and waits for the target to close the gap themselves. Consider the case of a local man named Rahul. Walking home late, he unknowingly breaches the outer boundaries of this avoidance zone. The environment around him is completely silent, until that silence is broken by a low decibel, highly targeted sound, a distinct whisper in the dark. Rahul. He halts all forward momentum. He abruptly turns, scanning the empty physical space, finding nothing at all. Then comes the secondary acoustic strike. Rahul, come here. The voice is measurably closer. The distance is shrinking, forcing him to alter his trajectory toward the origin of the sound. In an instant, the encounter shifts from a passive auditory anomaly into an active spatial countdown. Logically, Rahul should run away, but his flight response is suppressed as he begins tracking the sound toward the structure. The house achieves this through acoustic mimicry. The whisper doesn't sound like a physical threat. It replicates the tone and cadence of a deeply comforting, familiar voice. This chart shows the spatial progression of the interaction. By wrapping the danger in a trusted sonic signature, the trap prevents the brain's threat detection center from firing. The target feels safe as decreasing auditory distance pulls them closer. The brain stops looking for exits when recognizing a familiar voice. As Rahul crosses the final exterior boundary, he isn't looking at a ruin anymore. He is following a memory into the dark. He reaches the physical threshold of the property, the front entryway. Without anyone touching the handle, the old door slowly swings open, revealing an interior completely devoid of light. This is how the trap functions. It uses the victim's own internal data to guide them into a space they would otherwise never enter. Rahul crosses from the known environment of the exterior night into the absolute, suffocating darkness of the interior hallway. Then, the spatial countdown hits zero. With extreme mechanical force, the heavy wooden door violently slams shut behind him. Immediately, the environment changes. The single comforting voice that lured him inside shatters into a chorus of overlapping whispers echoing off the walls. The entity delivers its final piece of communication, acknowledging his compliance. You answered. Now you belong here. The slamming of the door is the moment where manipulation ends and the physical reality of the situation takes over. By the time the sun rises the next morning, the road is quiet again. People pass the property in the daylight, just as they did the day before. But there is a new detail on the door's surface. Freshly and aggressively gouged into the ancient timber is a single name, Rahul. The wood is scarred with a name that wasn't there yesterday, a permanent record of the night's events left for the next person who stops to listen. If you heard your own name called from the darkness tonight, would you be able to tell the difference between a person you love and a house that is waiting for you to answer?